Wait, actually, it is actually strange
Technology is against
because
us.
the music
But some of the
was.
nice peoples.
Wait, actually, hold on. Why did it? Wait, hold on. I actually have to check why is this working like this now. Yeah, this is kind of bonked, but it doesn't really matter. Uh, no, that's actually fine. Oh god, the RR. Because I do actually have to check why does this happen. Hold on.
Why does this happen to me?
No, like I have the VLC put on a completely. Wait, why does it pick up? What's up with my microphone? Can you wait? Hold on, hold on, hold on.
We can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, were you only able to hear me, or
Nah, all of us. All of us. Good
because
thing we weren't
yeah,
talking shit, huh?
I mean you
mean-
can hear everything now, by the way, because I did enable every voice, every sound. Yeah.
Wait,
Uh,
can you hear this, chat?
Oh,
yeah. Regrets.
oh my god, no, it doesn't
Here we
matter.
go.
Actually,
and
hold on.
Raava together.
Whatever, guys. It started. It doesn't matter. We are on screen. Everyone can hear us. Everywhere we are exposed. It doesn't matter.
Amazing.
You know,
Oh my.
it just makes the YouTube cut harder. But never mind. Wait.
This
Okay.
is a
Let me
normal
check.
setup.
No, my.
Come on, Pingu. Come here. Fight me at the parking lot of Lidl. Let's go.
Okay, I'm actually still
Oof.
curious why. Yeah, why is my bitrate still spiking up and down? Oh,
Did you know that
I.
bit in French means penis?
Oh god.
Sorry.
Hold on,
Amazing.
guys. I have to quickly. Oh no! It can't handle. Can't handle the new
up,
word in the background because I don't want to recoup.
Well,
Oh no! Please don't tell me the game is gonna crash. I put everything on low. No, please don't die on me. Okay.
Oh no.
I
Yeah.
mean, come on, Pingu. We are all hard stuck in New World.
Okay. You know what? I'm actually gonna exit from New World for you guys only. There.
Wait.
It could not handle.
God, when you were in the background.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah. Anyway, since this is a really great start of the stream and extremely professional, we have Chera Fox with us and Raava. So
Hello.
yeah, it did actually fix my bitrate. So yeah, cool, amazing. So since you all heard it anyway, I'm I'm gonna actually start with like one story I wanted to share because yesterday, Chera, well, not just yesterday, but in the past days, Chera, you had some
Yep.
PC problems, yeah, which was
Yeah, my PC was being upgraded and some things didn't work as they were supposed to work, and we were trying to find out why.
and it was
Oh my.
just a BIOS update.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice. I
It
don't
was a
remember.
BIOS update.
I don't remember when was the last update I did on the BIOS. But anyway, so I'm just because you mentioned PC, this one story popped up in my mind from my was it like high school or elementary? I don't know what you call it. It was basically fifth or seventh, fifth or sixth grade that I was in, and I knew kind of a classmate. It wasn't exactly a classmate all the time because it was two classes together sometimes, you know, usual way. And uh, well, since I was kind of a nerdy person and I played video games, you know, like some normal person does, I I didn't have many friends. So wait, does my voice actually okay? So I didn't have too many friends, but then there on in the other class, I met one dude who was playing World of Warcraft, and I was like, wow, one single dude in two classes who actually play video games and have a PC. Mind you, this was still at the time when you only had like vanilla WoW, and there was no TBC yet either. And well, when I met him, we talked, and I was like, it was kind of creepy a bit because uh, I was mostly just listening to him sometimes talk about games, but other people were just ignoring him. But I was like, I should maybe like befriend this dude because we can actually talk about something, you know?
Gaming. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I started to talk with him a lot. And a few months later, he was like, he actually showed me World of Warcraft actually the first time. Like he was the first person who mentioned the game, and I was like, what even is that? And then he explained like it's an MMO, you just play and go around, and I was like fascinated by it, like, oh wow, cool, because I was only really playing like Call of Duty before, or just FPS games. So
Mhm.
he mentioned once, a couple of months later, that he wants to show me his character in WoW. So I was like, yeah, sure, cool. I can probably visit after school. Sure, why not? He wasn't really that far away, living far away. So I did went for a visit. The dude was kind of crazy, but thinking back, that was kind of not much of a surprise because his mom left him and his dad alone. So it was only him and his dad together living, and his dad was mostly just working all the time, so they didn't even meet much. So it was thinking that kind of a yikes thing. But he was just showing me his PC, the old CRT monitor and stuff, and just showing me the game just lagging around because it was like a really bad PC. But it's just so funny. He had a dwarf, I remember, because he loved dwarves. And he tried to play. He wasn't playing on the official servers, but just on a some whatever random private
Was
server.
it Tauri or Revo?
No, it wasn't Tower. It didn't even. I'm not even sure if Tower even existed then.
I'm pretty sure. Like I played Burning Crusade on Revo, and Tauri was already there by then.
Ah,
So
that could be. I know that Tower is really old because I knew the old admins of it who made the servers and handled the servers. But there was this dude, and I was just visiting, and I was there like, yeah, that's a cool game. Can you show me the game? Sure. And he just tried to log in, and his PC froze, and he was like going apeshit. Like I was like, are you okay? Because because you don't seem too fine. And he's like, oh fuck this PC, it's always like freezing and like dying on me and everything, and doesn't let me play. And I was like, sure, I don't know. And then he just opened his fucking wardrobe or what, and just pulled out like a 1.5 meter long bronze sword, a legit, not plastic, but an actual bronze sword. It was heavy as fuck, and just
Holy shit.
puts it in, like, just grabs it by two, and it actually wasn't sharp or anything like that, so at least that was good. And so just grabs it with like two hands and impales his PC like 8 times,
fuck?
and like then he just picks the sword, throws it away, runs out into the kitchen, grabs he just grabbed two forks and just kept still impaling his dead PC with two forks as well.
what the fuck? I mean,
And I
to
was
be honest, if I was a PC, that's the way I would like to go. But
I swear I was just standing in the corner of I was just standing in the corner of his room because it was a small room and I was really afraid, like, dude, I'm gonna die here.
Holy shit, I'm glad
Amazing.
your life today, Noxxi. What?
No, it wasn't a crack then. But it was just,
And kids, this is why you don't play World of Warcraft.
yeah, like, he couldn't log in and it was just pissing him off so much that he just completely killed his PC. And you know what was the mind-blowing thing was me. Like, you won't believe me. Like, the next day I went to school, I talked with him again. And I was like, how is your PC doing? And he was like, oh, my dad just broke the new one. And I'm like, what? Like, no explanation, like, you know, like, son, what the fuck did you do with this PC or anything? No, here is the new PC, you know, bum. Like, what?
Wow.
Oh, Raava is a little bit low. Hold on. There is it. 200.
That's
No, there is it.
that's the first.
Yeah, I actually don't know because I'm not really sure. Yeah, okay, this should work. Because for me, some people are usually like a little bit louder on Discord than what you can hear
Yeah.
on OBS for some reason.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I have no filters. I do have actually a compressor, but whatever. But yeah, this was just. Oh man, I don't know. I had so many crazy classmates through the years in school. Like, it was mostly just, you know, the typical bullying through my entire life in school, but I always managed to meet like one or two dudes there who were like very normal, but they had like very insane things sometimes that they kept doing. And I don't know, like, and some of them were really, really stupid as well.
It's terrifying. I'm so glad you're alive today, Noxxi.
Yeah, I don't have a sword in my chest.
Oh my
You know, just get stabbed and like, that's pretty rude, isn't it?
It would be a great, like, this story is a great conversation starter as well, by the way.
Yeah, really.
Loki, you don't expect a sword to be like pushed through a freaking PC at the end of it. Or like, I was like, okay, yeah, violent gamer, that tell me something new, and then he brought a PC, a sword and forks and stabbed his feet. Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
honestly, I was more impressed by the fact that he was able to actually step through the metal, you know, the metal sides of the PC case and through the motherboard and everything inside, because you know all PCs were like thick, you know.
Yeah, and they were expensive back in the day. Like, I know PCs are still quite expensive,
Yeah.
but it was even more because the technology was much older and stuff and harder to make. So it's insane that like people can just like, yeah, waste money on that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Holy crap.
I mean, honestly, like, living in the time where I already had my PC, but people were like just discovering that, oh my god, there is a PC you can use and play on and stuff, you know, and just you have your classmates suddenly like, oh, I got a new PC. Well, like, I mean, not like a new, but like my first PC, and just them being like absolute dumbs about it because obviously they haven't had a PC before this, so they have zero clue how it works.
Oh yeah. Like, dude, IT classes in elementary school.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
You could tell who played games and who didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quake was installed on it and all that.
Oh,
Oh, thing came back just now. There was a Murloc RPG.
what?
And
Wait.
they yes, I posted it in the multiplayer Discord. It's Murloc RPG, and it's now back, and it's free. And I played the shit out of that game. I didn't understand shit because I was like, what, 10? With limited English knowledge, right? But I loved it. It's like a side-scrolling browser-based game with Murlocs.
Right, and like the Murloc I think the
Yes, you play as a fucking Murloc. It's great.
Oh my goodness. The only introduction to Murloc I've had was like when I played what's the card game from Blizzard?
Hearthstone.
Yeah,
yeah, the,
and every time you would shove the card of a Murloc, you would hear.
yeah. There were so many Murlocs.
Did I play that game before I knew what WoW was?
Hearthstone or the Murloc RPG?
The Murloc game.
Oh.
I actually have a physical starter set of the WoW trading card game that
Wow.
Hearthstone is based on.
Yeah, because
Nice. So
they did had like a actual trading card before.
Yeah, they only discontinued the physical ones after Hearthstone came in.
Oh wow. But you've both played WoW. Like you've both played WoW before Guild Wars, I'm guessing?
Yeah,
I actually played Guild Wars 1 before WoW.
that I actually did
Okay.
play WoW way before Guild Wars. I didn't know. Like it's actually like a few years before, I think, because
fair.
I started to play Guild Wars 1 in 2005, I think. It was, I actually don't know the dates anymore, but it was just before Factions was announced. That's when we
Yeah.
both, and I actually was just really late from Prophecies because I legit couldn't comprehend that there would be like an MMO style game that was free and not shit.
Oh, dude, like, I started with Nightfall, so I was omega late for Prophecies. But it basically started because I played like the 10-day trial of WoW like 3 times with 3 different email addresses and all that, and I wanted to play that. But of course, my parents didn't let me play something with a monthly sub fee, so I basically got my grandma to buy me Guild Wars Nightfall because I heard some of the guys playing that game at basketball training, like, because I used to do basketball. So I was
Oh,
like, I should try that.
uh,
My.
I actually don't. Yeah, no, I actually remember. It was actually like an older friend that I knew when I was a kid who brought it up. That because we used to play WoW together, and he was like one day he was like, "Hey, I actually found this MMO kind of game that is apparently free to play," and I was like, "Nah, there is no way that's free to play." And he was like, "Yeah, it's actually free to play," and I was like, "Nah, that's shit. Then it's not working because." Back then I only knew like two other or like three other, free to play MMO that had no sub fee, which was like Silk Road Online, and then there was like Perfect World or whatever, and there was like a
Oh,
third or
dude.
something, but they all were like either pay to win, which like already cash up, and like yeah, I mean Silk Road Online was really pay to win, and I think still is, if it still lives, I think.
Those times I played the shit out of these free to play MMOs. I played some Silk Road, I played some Flip, Rapples, Perfect World, one of the other Perfect World games. I even beta tested like another Perfect World game that was
Yeah, they had so
absolute
many
dog
games.
shit. It's just, yeah.
I feel like such an MMO virgin. Like I've only started gaming and playing MMOs in 2015 after I finished my undergrad because I was like, yes, I'm free. Let me play games. But like, I literally never had played WoW or Guild Wars 1 or anything before. So this is pretty cool to like know the history of MMOs with you guys.
I'm actually sad that so many people didn't play Guild Wars 1. I mean, it's not because it's like it's very two different game for sure, but and I won't really praise it, but it did had like very very good things in it. Like I think the lore was way better in Guild Wars 1. Like the storytelling, in my opinion, was kind of better. Not
Yeah.
I'm not
Uh,
talking.
Yeah.
I'm not really saying the voice acting, but
yeah. No, there were so many memes in Guild Wars 1,
oh,
honestly.
there was, yeah, it's so many.
Like, I know Lynn was talking about doing like a full playthrough with 8 people at one point, and I would be so up for it with a fresh account and all that shit.
Yeah, I actually told him as well that I would maybe I don't know. Uh it really depends. Maybe I will join it later, but I yeah, I actually had a really bad experience when like, starting full fresh and like trying to be very very vanilla, like nothing
Yeah.
extra, just full zero, full scrap one. That's not a thing for me anymore in it because I don't know. It's just like I don't know, like because the game eventually, evolved with more substance than it had, and it's like dropping them away, which was more like more of a quality of life changes. That's just really not working for me because I actually really love those changes in Guild Wars 1.
Oh, definitely.
Like the heroes that you can build them actually, then they later brought in like mercenaries. And it's just good, and I just refuse to throw it away.
I used to sell one of the missions in Nightfall with my monk and like 3 heroes, and I used to do Cathedral of Flames as well. I used to sell that
Oh,
shit as well.
yeah,
Do people still play it? Like, is it still an
yeah,
active game
yeah.
or
I
like
mean,
not
it's
Yeah.
really?
it's it's a bit more active on like there are districts in the game, so you don't pick like a server, but you can. They are kind of servers, but not like in Guild Wars 2 where you don't have to transfer. You just simply go in game and just select which district you want to use, and if you pick
Mm-hmm.
American, then you will be on the NA servers, and obviously with that ping you will have, so you will be a little bit more laggy, but it doesn't really affect much your gameplay because it's instanced anyway. So
Like
Yeah.
especially in the major cities like
yeah,
Canada, there are plenty of American districts because
yeah,
people are selling shit there.
yeah, and there are so many bots as well.
Ah, good
Oh
old Spamadan.
my. That sounds awesome. I actually have all of them, and I've been like the only reason why I've been see that's the thing. When you start with Guild Wars 2, I find that it's harder to get into the lore and stuff because even though there's like a lot of story in Guild Wars 2, it's not the focus of it. Like you can get past and live your life in Guild Wars 2 without really knowing what the story of Guild Wars 2 is about. And like I think that a lot of people who have started with Guild Wars 1 have like a really good grasp of the lore and the story and
Yeah.
understand everything much better than someone who just started with Guild Wars 2 midway as well. And like the only reason I would go back to Guild Wars 1 is like see it's just to get the Black Moa as a druid main for more
Uh
CC.
I actually have that.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
Yeah, it's just yeah, it's a shame because like I love Guild Wars 2, but yeah, I don't know much about it compared to players who have played Guild Wars 1 as well.
I'm
Ah, yes.
I'm I'm personally a little bit sad because many people get turned off from Guild Wars 1 after actually playing Guild Wars 2 because like no offense, but Guild Wars 1 is actually more strategic. Like it actually needs to use your brain. You can't just, be like PvE Guild Wars 2 where you just go to a mob and just, auto and it dies and you can just
Oh
tank
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
10 mobs on
Mhm.
yourself. I mean you can do that in Guild Wars 1, but you will probably die if you don't have a right build that. Like if you don't understand your build and what your skills do and how enemies work, well, it's not that they have like amazing skills, but uh, I mean AI, but the enemies also use actual player skills and sometimes monster skills, which is very unique to only a few type of
Oh
enemies.
yeah, it got like that especially from Faction Zone and
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Eye
yeah,
of
yeah.
the North. Like Eye of the North enemies are whoo boy compared to the core game ones.
Yeah, because in the core game, probably the only monster skills you had was like the Stone Summit dwarfs, that was always knocking you down in the Shiver Peaks. That's so
Yeah.
annoying. I hated
Just
that.
interrupt it. Like, come on.
Yeah, yeah, I mean you can, yeah, that's true. But like Guild Wars 1 is much more of a strategic tactical game than where you actually do have to think, and it's not like yeah let's just go in YOLO and because you will die. There is no and there is a penalty for dying,
Oh
because
yeah.
yeah, because there is a death penalty mechanic in the game, which means each time you die your so there is only health and energy in the game. So basically think of like a Revenant, because Revenant is built on the same concept of the old Guild Wars 1. You had energy and energy regeneration. and some skills played with that, but you kept using your energy to use skills, so you couldn't just spam. You will be out of energy in like 5 minutes, 5 seconds. But
Yeah, there are some exceptions to that
yeah, of
are
course,
adrenaline based. So
yeah,
those skills are mostly warrior, paragon, and dervish skills, I think.
yeah. Dervish, no, Dervish uses all. No,
I think
actually
there are
does use
some.
adrenaline. Yes, it does
Yeah.
have some scythe skills that use adrenaline, and they're actually pretty good. But they are very high cost adrenaline skills, usually like
Oh yeah,
4,
yeah,
5,
definitely.
8. But basically, if you died, you got like a 15% penalty, death penalty, which means the amount of percent death penalty you had, that many less health and energy you had, which is like mana, so I could call it like mana
Yeah,
or energy, whatever. But yeah, oh yeah, there
and
is the
and and that went up to 60 minus
yeah,
60%.
-60. So that's some build actually did go on that. So some build actually required you to die, like some necro stuff. But yeah,
Ah,
so
yes, the
so you
blood
could
is
yeah
power build,
yeah.
the 1 HP necro. Yeah.
So you could play around a lot of mechanics if you know what's up. And yeah, by the way, there is the elementalist exhaustion mechanic for skills, which means because elementalist had like extremely high energy through its attributes, so it had like 3 times more energy than usually you would have. I mean, not 3 times, but depended on your build and your items.
It could go up pretty high.
Yeah, but the exhaustion was, which they actually kind of changed later, but the core mechanic of it, that your energy gets locked out, so it's like it gets grayed out the more of
It's
those skills you use.
it's sort of like overloading in Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly,
This
actually.
that feels like a different game, honestly. When
Yeah,
like if you were
it is
to hear
actually.
like yeah, like it's just like it's insane.
That's why I
But
actually don't really like it when people get suggested to, yeah, just go play Guild Wars 1 after actually just only playing Guild Wars 2, because yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the whole thing of like multi-classing, so to say.
Yes.
And then just theory crafting your own builds from that, meme builds, everything. It's so fun to go in to random arenas with a meme build. Like, oh man.
yeah.
I mean, it's actually more closer to like raiding, actually, because you actually have to think like you need specific professions with like specific. I mean, they can go with different builds. Like many builds work, obviously, so you don't strictly have to go with like only this build works. But on certain bosses that you had in Guild Wars 1, you actually needed like specific builds for a few professions, because some bosses were like, just resistant or just took no damage from certain damage types or similar like that. So there were many mechanics in the game, in I don't know.
Okay.
So it's
And how like what does it work? Like do you have dungeons? Do you have raids? Like how does it work? Like what do you use your
Uh,
builds for?
Holy shit. Okay, so there are some dungeons that came in with Eye of the North.
yeah.
There
Yep.
are vanquishing, which is basically doing areas in hard mode, like clearing them out. There's also some elite missions, which are not sure about Soros Furnace. I think that's still 8 player,
It
but
is it is it
there
is
are
still, I think.
there's Urga's Warren and the Deep, that's 12 or 16 player, and then there's Gate of Madness as well. So there are elite areas, all that shit.
And then you have Underworld and Fisher of Woe as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
So
that's
there
the
was
core one.
some, and they are actually hard. So you can still manage to steamroll through them, but they still need very big coordination. And the strangest thing is that you can't do every single thing with heroes. So like AI, you actually need for some you actually need players.
Okay, so that's cool. Like I thought that it was like mostly a solo game, but that's cool to know
No,
that you actually can play with more than one person.
for the base game that you go through, like the missions, the story, exploring some areas, you can go with like henchmen, so the AI, or your own heroes that you can make different builds. So the difference between heroes and henchmen, the henchmen have they are in every single outpost, so like every single town that you go to, where you can pick up people as well. But if you can't find players, you can pick henchmen. But they have a pre-made set of skills that they use, and
And equipment and all that.
yeah, and all that. So you can't change it. You can only change who you pick, like healer, something heals, something protects, something like a mesmer. The other is like a dervish or whatever. Really. And for heroes, you can pick them for what their main profession is, so like elementalist, but you can change that they are elementalist mesmer, elementalist warrior, elementalist paragon, or whatever you can pick for, and you can make their builds yourself.
Okay.
So
Wow, that's pretty cool. I might check it out one day, more than just getting the Black Moa.
It can get
Hell yeah.
confusing if you just, try to like dive into it very, very deeply, but you can learn very easily, honestly, in the game. But it doesn't really hold your hand that hard like Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, fair. Like the only thing I've heard about Guild Wars 1 is you can't dodge. Like
Yeah.
that's the
Oh,
only thing
no.
most people tell you. You can't dodge.
You
Like,
also
okay.
cannot jump.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, if you decide to go play some Guild Wars 1, I'm always up for that. It's one of those games that is always installed on my PC.
Same, actually. I
Nice.
have it for ages now. Hold on.
Yeah.
Give me just
Let me
one.
check which one I have.
I'm gonna just quickly be right back in 1 minute. I'm gonna grab a drink because I'm very, very dried.
Ooh.
Alright,
We're gonna
now-
make you wet. What?
Oh, yeah. Alright, guys, now that Noxxi is away, did you know that you can sub for free with Twitch Prime? Just connect your Amazon account to your Twitch account and you get a free sub each month.
And also, did you know that Noxxi is a wonderful editor?
I'm back.
And you should
Stop
definitely,
lying.
you should definitely go follow her on YouTube and check out her amazing website because she's amazing and she's the best.
No. Nice. I
It's
have a
all
drink.
true.
Excuse me, I'm a doctor. I'm always right. Okay, thank you.
Sorry for the interruption. I wasn't. I was planning to bring in my drink during the countdown, but then turned out everyone can hear us, so whatever. Because I'm a professional streamer.
Aren't we all?
I have Guild Wars on Steam, but that's it. I'm guessing there's more than Guild Wars.
There is the prophecies, the first, then factions, Nightfall. I have the
not quite
North.
sure how the Steam editions work because I think there's like an anniversary edition or whatever the hell that has all.
I'm not sure what does it. Does the anniversary one have all three plus Eye of the North? I'm not sure.
There was one that's called Guild Wars Trilogy, and then Eye of the North is separate.
Yeah, because the trilogy is just the first three, because the Eye of the North is an actual expansion, an expec, as you would say. Yeah, trilogy. Yeah, the trilogy was always just prophecies, factions, and Nightfall.
Yeah.
Because you can, if somebody doesn't know, you can play them individually. So. Raava. But you can play them separately, so you can only just like buy factions if you want to and just play that, so you don't need prophecies for it. But you can all link them together, of course, so don't make the mistake like I did as a kid, that you got factions and you were so excited that you made a new account on it, and it was like, yeah, did you link your factions to your prophecies? And I was like, I what?
Yes.
So I had to buy it a second time a few months later, and I had to explain to my mom that, yeah, it's just not working. And you have to buy a new one. which was kind of weird. But I managed. I don't regret. I just regret that I don't have the prophecies and factions collector's edition. I'm very, very sad. I never managed to get those. I still have the Nightfall one, but not the other two because I couldn't afford.
Same, to be honest. I don't have any of the collector's editions, sadly.
I mean, I was like 14 or what, so of course I
Is
had
there
no
a
money.
difference between the collector and non-collector?
No. It just it just collector's edition. It has a lot of extra stuff which I really
Yeah.
wanted, like the
Oh, okay.
miniature code. I mean, for
Yeah, like
not.
Yep, sorry.
No. Say
No, I was just gonna say the same thing as you did.
which. What? Did you read my
Like
mind?
they all have unique miniatures. Some of them has like I think factions
The
has unique
dance.
dance
Yes,
stuff
the fucking
or
assassin.
assassin ritualist. Yeah.
I want that to this day.
I
I
know it's so
envy
great.
because the Nightfall one isn't that great. In my opinion, it's not bad, but the factions one is the best.
Oh
Unique
yeah, with
dance.
and the Mini Kunavang, of course.
Oh yeah,
It feels like you're speaking a different language. I'm like, yeah,
yeah. Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. You actually, for once, like, it's nice to listen to people who are passionate about it. Because, like, I've never had this, like, every time I've said, yeah, how did you find Guild Wars 1? Oh, boring. Oh, it's so different. But, like, they never gave, like, they didn't have that passion. The only other person who had that much passion was, like, Loranity. And watching her play the game was awesome. So I actually want to play it more than for the freaking MOA now. So it's
I mean,
Nice.
I was passionate because it was nearly my only game that I kept playing and where I met people online. Since like in school, my life was just bullying, and I was really on the. I was. It's actually not a joke when I say, like I don't want to be that because I was still a kid, but I did really think about bad things, like
yeah.
if I
I feel that.
yeah, so I was really on
Mm.
the edge many days, and then suddenly like Guild Wars Fun just happened in my life, and it was like suddenly I met more and more friends in game who I really
Yeah,
enjoyed
that's
playing with, which kind of turned out in a slightly bad way many years later, but I still don't drop away those memories that I
memories.
enjoyed.
Yeah.
Like I don't care.
Yeah, same.
It's just that
That's the beauty of gaming.
yeah. It's just kind of bad that my friends didn't turn out to be those kind of friends that I thought they would be much later. So I was a little bit disappointed in some of them. But
Yeah.
that's really not the point of it. But yeah, I like the game was always there for me. Like my life was just, surviving school, just going through it, just
Yeah.
every day, just pushing through. Just have to go through, and going home. I didn't even do homework. I was like completely shit with grades because I never did homework because I just couldn't care. Apart from English, because I did really enjoy doing English since I was like 5 or 4, but
Hmm.
apart from that, I just couldn't care. Like no math or grammar or like literature or whatever. I didn't care,
Yeah.
and I was just
I mean,
I just wanted to play. That's it.
it's hard to care like if like your day-to-day life is kind of a shit place where you get bullied and you only find like relief from that when you're playing games. Like obviously yeah, it's hard to give a shit about school when school is shit, but the gaming is fun and you get to meet people who judge you less and you get to have like this escape.
Yeah, and it's also hard to give a shit because I was just not interested in any of them. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm just that type
Yeah,
of person. If it doesn't interest me, I just don't care.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair
yeah.
enough.
Like that came in for me when we started studying history in like what 5th grade, 4th grade, something like that, and I was dog shit at it because it was so fucking boring.
I
History is fun.
I, I failed in history class in 7th grade, and I actually didn't have to repeat the whole year, so I managed to go through. What is it even called when you redo the exam? Like on the end of the summer. I know in Hungarian, obviously, but I don't know what English calls that actually.
Catch up? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
None of us are English natives.
You know, Chera, the
but I know what you mean.
Yeah, I know.
Pótizsga, you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to do one of those in uni.
Yeah, same for math.
Oh,
For me, it was 3D modeling and animation. Yay.
wow.
Well, it sounds much better than math, to be honest. But yeah.
I was failing in
Imagine
math as
rendering on
well.
a imagine rendering on an 8-year-old laptop, though.
Oh god.
Yeah.
My. But yeah, I had a question for you. When you played Guild Wars 1, and then when Guild Wars 2 came, did you straight like go into it like with excitement? Like
Yeah.
were you disappointed because of how different the game was? Like what happened when Guild Wars 2 came out?
I personally was actually very excited. Like I was so excited because it was not announced yet when it will release, you know. But I
Mhm.
basically already dropped like Guild Wars 1 for a while because I was like, yeah, it's probably next year, it's probably next year. And it was really not next year, it was like
It
5 years later.
it was
Oh,
5
wow.
years later. It got announced around the time when Eye of the North
It was
arrived.
70,
2007.
yeah. It was in 7. Yeah.
Wow.
And
Holy.
we waited 5 years without even knowing when it will release. And then the shirts happened. Did you remember
so
the shirts?
they announced it?
Shirts.
Yeah, when they teased the release date with 3 shirts in the
Oh
background
yeah.
with like an arena image thing with 3 red shirts with the dates of 12 whatever. I actually can't remember the dates actually because I was pre pre-ordering anyway, so I was starting
Oh
early.
yeah. Same.
I was in the closed beta. So.
I was in one
man.
of the betas, one of the closed betas by accident apparently, even though I pre-ordered the collector's edition, so it was a bit weird.
And like did it feel like an entirely different game?
It did
Like
actually, but it felt like they. It's funny because this is what Guild Wars 1 was supposed to become, like in system to continue. But since they couldn't put it in Guild Wars 1 as Guild Wars 1 Utopia, they actually scrapped Utopia as an expansion and just created Guild Wars 2 instead.
Yeah, Chronomancer was actually a class in would have been a class in Utopia.
Yeah.
wow. That's yeah, that's super interesting.
There is
Like
so
to
many
just
behind
nerd
this
it.
actually that you can put there, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like it. It's just like yeah. Like I've missed because I arrived to Guild Wars 2 in 2015, so I think the game was already 4 years
Yeah.
old, maybe?
3 or
So
something.
3.
3 years old. Like I started playing just before Heart of Thorn came out, so I just yeah, I didn't know the lore, didn't know the story. Like if like were like Bram and Rox and everybody in Guild Wars 1, or like did you get introduced to them in Guild Wars 2?
That was season 1 of Living Story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. The what? I was just.
Bram,
Oh yeah,
Rox,
Brown. Yeah,
yeah.
they weren't in the
Marjorie and
original.
stuff, yeah. Yeah.
No, like that was the season 1, which was I played some of it, but it was super hard because that was my freshman year at uni as well.
Oof.
Okay.
Yeah.
My worst experience I had with those before even Heart of. I actually don't know when was it, but it was actually in the first seasons because that was when nothing ever came back. It just happened once. The
Yeah.
fucking Karka event, like
Oh, the Karka attack at Lion's Arch. Yes. Yep. Nothing loads in, but you're hitting something. You're definitely hitting
and you are
something.
dying and you can't
And
see
you're
anything and you're
dying.
just
Yeah.
lagging like hell and all I could see was just flying nameplates everywhere and everything is invisible, like not even the map loaded in the terrain. I just seen water and just like flying stuck in the air nameplates and I'm just dead and I'm like, okay, fine, this is fine, fire everywhere, this is fine.
Also, when Southtown Cove came in, the Karka was the worst thing ever because
Yes.
right when you get get it down, then you have a break bar and you have to kill it again so that it actually dies. Well, that didn't happen that often.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they just kept regenerating and regenerating and regenerating.
Oh
It was
no.
Yeah.
glorious.
And the whole event was it was in some way it was cool because it was like a one-time thing and you were there, but in like the problem was that it was like a one-time event in one day. So if you couldn't be there that day and at the exact time while this was lasting, because obviously time zones for some people it was like 2 a.m.
Wait, didn't it last for a week, each one?
the
The
first,
episodes?
but when we actually
Oh.
did when we defeated the giant Karka, I'm not sure if it's like a Karka Queen thing. It was,
Oh, yeah, that was the
at,
Karka Queen.
at the top of the thing, or no, it was on the top, and then it died in the lava because it had to be I I think it died in the lava or something at the
Yeah,
bottom.
we had to get it into the cave
Yeah,
where
yeah,
the
yeah,
corpse still is.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
still
yeah,
there.
yes, yeah, yeah. So that was just a single one time, and that's where you got the drops, where everyone got like a fucking precursor, and I didn't get anything because
The
I DC'd
story.
out, and it was already like 2 a.m.
I think I missed that event as well.
My
Sadly.
my friend got actually a precursor, and he got down at the
No,
time.
I got my first precursor after like 6 or 7 years of playing. It was in Fractal Tier 28 Snowblind on the last boss on CM. I was hugging the floor.
Oh no.
And I got a fucking precursor for that.
Nice. It was
Amazing.
like my condolence, here, take this.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Boom. And remember when the precursors used to be worth like a fuck ton? Like dropping a precursor was
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
epic because they were worth like 3,000 gold or something. Like it was insane. But
There
now,
were even times when the precursor didn't say that it was a precursor, so people probably just
yes.
Let me tell you a story then. I got my first precursor drop, which was what is the precursor bolt? Zap?
Zap, yeah.
Yeah. I got it in my first week after being level 80. And it was just, an exotic. And I already had an exotic Karma armor, because that was the best thing ever, just Karma armor from the ore.
Yep.
Which is like power, whatever. I can't remember on my
I
first.
think it was the ore one is Berserker.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And precursors then were like worth like something like 5 to 20 gold at best. And at the time that was like huge in some sense.
Yeah, just as a point of like comparison, that was at the time when 100 gems were 40 silver.
Yeah, not even that much actually.
Oh wow.
Like
oh wow, okay.
I actually converted later. Like I literally sold that for 20 gold, and I had like at the end I managed to have 28 gold at the time in like my first week of being level 80, and I was like 80 in like less than 4 days because I was just no lifing the shit out of the game. and and since there was no school, I think, yet, because it's August, September, yeah, there was no school, so I wanted to finish it so fast that I was, because of school. And
that was my last year in high school, so I didn't have that much time to play.
then
Oh my.
and I actually I and this is what almost makes me cry, but because I checked the conversion, guys, I could have bought more than. I actually so sad I didn't made any screenshot then, but I had like 2 more pieces afterward anyway. But I remember it was it was more than 30k gems, and that's what I could have converted my gold into at the time, because
Holy
gems
fuck.
were just the first week. Gems were like extremely cheap, like they were just so extreme that people thought I literally said, nah, I'm not gonna convert. They're gonna stay this low.
Yep.
Yep, and later
And-
it was like just went up like for 100 gem, like 20 or like 40 silver, then a gold, it was like, yeah, fuck me, I guess.
Yeah.
No.
It's because no one had gold at the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Literally, and then everyone started to drop items, get more gold, and just kept converting, and then just the prices kept going up. And I just completely missed out the chance to buy nearly 40,000 gems.
Also, I think at that time there was not much on the gem store either. There were
Yeah,
some
they were just very
boosters,
scarce.
revive orb, shit
That's
like that.
yeah, and that's exactly why I even said that I'm not gonna convert now, because there is nothing on the gem store, and I'm like, why should I spend my gold, Because that gold was actually meaningful, even though it was like 28 gold, but it was kind of meaningful because nothing had like a real price. But oh my god, and I didn't even know that was Zap actually. I just remember back then because of its icon. Well,
Oh yeah. So wait, you sold it or you salvaged it? You sold
no,
it.
I actually saw it on the trading post, and I just seen that it was like 20 gold, and I'm like, wow, why is it so expensive? And I was like, nah, I'm selling the shit. I don't care. It's just I was like, it's just a shitty exotic. Like I didn't care.
Oh no.
Yeah, my memory is dog shit, so I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure I probably salvaged one.
Oh no.
I just don't remember, which is good because I won't be that sad this way.
Yeah, actually, that's a good thing. Yeah, just ignore and bury your head in the sand.
Yep.
Like, nope.
Nope, that did not happen.
Yeah, that's intense. Yeah, when I arrived to the game, like precursors were so expensive. Like everything, crafting a legendary. Like people complain about the price of a legendary now, but like before Heart of Thorn, that was so much more expensive.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
I
And of course, at that time, we didn't have the collections either for them or
Yeah.
anything
Yeah,
to make
yeah.
it easier.
Yeah, no, you had to drop it or buy it, and like buying it because they were like drop onlys was close to impossible.
Yep.
And actually, the problem was for me that I never understood that you had to farm materials that you need for the legendary to sell because you needed the gold for the precursor.
Yeah.
So you actually had to like double farm for the entire legendary. Like that was just it was so burning me out.
Yeah. Like it was a grind to craft a legendary back in
Which
the
was
day.
your
Like,
first legendary, by the way?
mine was Twilight. I made
Almost,
Twilight
almost.
because
Ooh,
I thought it was
fancy.
edgy. And then after the like I dropped a Dawn at some point, so I made Sunrise and sold Eternity because I hated Twilight, especially after you look at Exordium, which is like, oh yes.
Nice.
But yeah. What about you guys?
My first one, well, I'm an engineer main, so my first one was Quip, of course. I like memes. Okay.
No.
I am gonna be the perfect disco engineer soon, TM.
Oh my. Oh my.
Oh wait,
Oh yes.
do you want to make?
Sweat.
Wait.
No, don't say it, Noxxi, because I don't want to.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't wait to see it. What about you, Noxy? First ledge?
My first legendary was very memorable because I really wanted Sunrise. Because I'm dying
Oh.
for the skybox in this words thing. Like that's just my jam. Like that's the only reason why I also really love the X, the Gent who X Astro, I don't know the name.
Astralaria,
Ah, yeah.
Astro,
I'm
yeah.
still working on that.
I actually still want I actually do want that, but the problem is that I don't really play anything that kind of uses X that much. Like I do have my Necro, but I don't really use X on it, honestly.
Yeah, like
Yeah, but
every
it's such a
time
pretty.
it is so pretty.
I
Every time I decide I want Astralaria, I'm like, I should play Fireband, and I'm like, how about no?
No, and the collection is quite annoying. Like those
Oh, it is.
collections back then, before, so it started like, yeah, there was like all those collection before Shushudu. No, Shushudu was the last one where you had to do the freaking 4-tier collection. I recently made Hope with Skye. That was hell. It's horrible. Like
boy.
you have to wait for events, wait for them to fail. You have to do adventures. Try doing adventures with 350 ping, but
Oh
it's
yeah, fuck that.
hard. Like we had to do Dragon's Den like 3 times, and like it was disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I done Quip through the collections, and that was, I think at the time maybe Path of Fire was already out. So there were
mhm.
some harder things that I had to do in core, and no one was fucking around. Like
Yeah,
absolutely no one. So
yeah.
I'm just standing
Like,
there trying to kill this elite, and then yeah.
and it's just like I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but like the more we advance like throughout the games, and like the more you lose touch with like the core game. Like for example, we had to do this event in Or, and like to trigger this event, you had to fail another event and then kill the other event. It's just like and it's like we were just waiting at this like place. Hoping for the event to trigger, but it would have never triggered if we didn't do the parts before that. But you lose
Yep.
complete touch with core, and you're just here waiting with your thumbs up your butt, waiting.
Oh
You're
god.
like,
Correct indeed.
Actually, ironically saying, I gave up on hope because I wanted to make it, but then I was like
oh,
checking what you need, and then like kept seeing people ranting about how annoying that you need to like fail events to continue, and I was like, nah,
yeah.
I'm not bothering
Don't
with
do
this.
like honestly, like it almost broke me. Like I lost hope making hope. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like
Like yeah.
if I ever decide to make Hope, Noxxi are coming with me.
Oh
'Cause I'm
no.
stubborn enough to actually go through with it.
Just ask Kay for his spreadsheet. He has a spreadsheet.
Ooh, scary. Talk dirty to me, yeah?
Oh yeah. No, those legendaries. Even Australaria. Like I think there's a time gate in Australaria, right? You have to go to that same place in Rasanovas for like 15 days or something. Or am I wrong?
Yeah, that I'm not sure if that's that, but that rings a bell.
Yeah. Like behind like that brick wall or something, there's like this guy you need to talk to. I hate time gates personally, so it pissed me off
Yeah.
not being able to advance through it because I had to wait 15 days.
I mean, Sky skill on release. That's all I'm gonna
Oh,
I did
say.
it. I did that one. And people still kept crying afterward when it was nerfed and nerfed forward. And I was like, still no, I did the OG. I did the OG Sky Skills thing.
Yeah,
I don't
that
care.
was
I
a rough
screamed
one.
through the entire thing. I don't care, but I did it. Just like in my video about it.
I'm gonna go check it out again. But yeah, all those time gates, like I don't know if you have Aurora or Vision, but they're
I have
loaded and
Aurora.
rid of. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
that Drew tree shite, like that lasts literally a month.
Yep.
And then it's like you need 250 currency of each map, and you're like, please kill me.
Did I farmed that before Path of Fire and Eternal Ice was a thing, and I'm just like, ugh.
Oh, I need to check that out. I need to do strikes at some point. But they're horrible. They're horrible.
I don't even know how to do the otter or otter, whatever.
Otter, yeah, I haven't even started that shit yet.
I don't even know how to even start or where or what you have to do with
So
it.
you need to do that meta on that too, like that map Drizzlewood or something. But
Yeah.
it used to be really good because like you could park all your characters at the end chest. And as long as you did the meta with one character, but the meta literally can last up for 4 hours because you'd have the south part and then the north part. And it's just so annoying. Like it takes so long. And then you reach the end boss, you kill Jormag again. And then but they fixed it. You could load all your characters through and get a bunch of those Otter's gift or whatever. So you can get the Otter like after doing like I think you still needed to do a bunch of metas, but now you need to do an enormous amount of metas to get that Otter. Whereas before, like just they fixed it right as I got the Otter. But like people were just like reloading their characters and they had 20 characters parked there. It
Holy
was
shit.
insane.
That sounds like how the Corna meta used to work.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, it is the same. You just like like I don't know if you remember the Auric Basin meta with like the Hector. I don't know if you remember. At some point, the Hectors dropped to like the lowest price there had ever been because people were like doing those insane like squads for Auric Basin.
Do you mean the multi-looting?
Yeah, the multi-octovine. So you had squad 1, squad 2, squad
Yeah.
3, and people would jump ship after they were done and they would collect so many rares.
Yeah.
And like Hector's dropped to like, I think at some point 15 silver or some shit. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah, it was insane. Just like
That
those
was like
moments
actually,
in those two.
but although I think that looting and loot, that was actually kind of satisfying. I actually did
Yeah.
that while I could because I was actually making a legendary as well. So I was like, nah, I'm not gonna miss this. I just kept doing one
Yeah, I
every,
mean-
every time I could.
No, it was good to do, but like the thing is like, yeah, it's too cheating. Like you can just
Yeah.
make so much money and stuff. Like I guess, yeah.
I mean,
And-
honestly, sorry for interrupting.
Hmm?
No, I
No, go for it.
actually just say, what did you want? Raava.
Wait, what?
No,
Oh,
continue.
sorry.
Continue.
Oh no, I just wanted to say like, yeah, the problem is Anet loves to make us grind for things. So like,
Yeah.
it's just like the moment they realized this was a thing that, yeah, okay, we're fixing it, no more. And then everybody was complaining, but it was a good thing because Ectos got to go back up and TP Barons were happy.
Oh, of course they are. They always
you
are.
know?
The only thing I wanted to say that I think it was still kind of better than the old chess form in Silver Races.
Oh god, yeah.
I started
Oh.
there on day one when it happened, and people like I was literally day on like I was there on the first day when people kept thinking, wait, can we actually just go around and everyone picking showers, and just everyone looting the same chest over and over? And we were like, wait, let's try it out. And first, it was like in a smaller zone first that we kept trying. It was at the most western keep thing in the sand that we tried, and we were just going back and forth in like a small zone, and then people kept like going more around after people kept like learning where the chests are, and I was actually the
yeah.
first person. Well, I'm not like claiming officially the first person, but I actually couldn't find any map of the chests, so I made the first map that I could, and I put it on Reddit right away, and people
Nice.
still use it or use it.
Yeah, I think I've used it back in the day. Like because that was the way to farm obsidian, but also stuff
Yeah.
for legendaries, right?
Oh,
When legendaries
yes.
were super expensive. So you had those chest train, and that we followed that map, and I didn't know it was you, but I'm pretty sure, like now that I can think of it, I think it was you.
I was always
and-
on my teeth for sure on that because teleports and shadow stepping and everything.
Yeah. And then everybody, how many shovels do you have?
Oh yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
And then there was this one dude, the MVP, who was like, I have 60 showers, and like, wow, oh fuck yeah.
Where
Three
are those
runs.
people that have been needed for the guild halls?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The best was when there was like a commander who was doing a chest farming, and he kept missing the chests, and I was like, I wasn't really complaining or anything, it wasn't, saying in chat, but I was like, just saying like, dude, you missed this chest right here, come here, and like everyone kept following me afterward, and he just told me to like just stay behind because he knows where to go, and I'm like asking him if he was like using a map, and he said yes, and I was like, dude, I made the map. Like
Nice.
I know from memory, I knew, like I did the chess form for 4 months every single day through like 6 hours a day. Like it was burned into my mind where the chests are.
Holy shit.
Like I was because I was making two legendaries actually at the time. I'm not gonna tell the story why, but it was very important to me. It was kind of a gift, let's just say that. But yeah,
Oh, I think I know the story.
no,
Sorry.
I'm actually not gonna go into that because that's no.
Yeah.
It's
No, no,
like
fair.
mixed memories with good and bad.
Yeah.
So
Ah.
no, don't wanna get into it. But yeah, it was the intention of that I wanted to make a really really important gift. Someone,
Mhm.
someone important to me, you know. If you get the
Wickedy
catch.
one.
So yeah,
Wait,
I
did you know me back then? Because it's
what?
I'm
No,
important
no,
here,
no,
right?
Rao, what the
I'm kidding.
fuck? No. But yeah, so I was just try hard farming for the mood and then the prophecy, the flame seeker.
Sticker, yeah.
Nice.
The good old times. I wonder, do people still do chest run in
Oh
Silverwing?
yeah,
Yeah, they do, but it's actually
Yeah,
less common now, kinda, as I see.
it's probably
yeah,
because of Dragonfall, I
Yeah.
guess.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's
like
so many ways now.
back in the day, like I wasn't doing silver race that much, but I had this I don't know why this obsession with Dragon Stand, and there were days when I was just doing Dragon Stand the whole day.
Mhm.
I love that map.
Yeah, I
It's not
really
a bad meta. Like it's a good meta actually.
Yeah,
I really like the theatrics of it, to be
yeah,
honest.
Yeah,
same. Like the
and it
end.
has really. Yeah, go for it, Noxy.
No, I just wanted to say the entire design of the map and the meta, the way it goes through the entire thing, like you actually feel like it's just cool. It just gives a great like what is the word? Uh,
Experience.
yeah, like you are kind of immersed.
It's
Hmm.
sort of the fight we wish we had
Yeah,
with Zaiten.
Yeah. And it has like really cool like mechanics and you have to coordinate. Like I think like that's what I really liked and that's what like maybe what I'm gonna say is a bit controversial, but I really enjoyed that with Heart of Thorn. Like those metas were actually fun. And when Path of Fire came out, like it was like it felt more like solo, like not
Oh
as like
yeah.
yeah,
bringing people together. And I think they brought it back after with like story, but there wasn't as much of an impact as like when Heart of Thorn came out and people were like, especially like DS and Tangle Depth, where like you could fail Tangle Depth back in
Oh
the day,
yes.
you know?
I
yes.
think the most fun I had in Path of Fire, apart from raids, because I actually really like the raids. The most fun I
Hmm.
had was when the Royer stood up and said, "Okay, I'm gonna organize a Serpentire meta,"
Oh
and that
yeah,
was so good.
Which
yeah,
one is that
that was fun.
actually?
That's the
It's
one in Vabi.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
it's like one of the like the one that you fail a lot as well, like because you need to CC
Yes.
all at once and
oh
like that was really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't done that in a while.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually never done a single Path of Fire meta. Like none.
No, really?
No, really, I don't know what are they or what you do because I just think people failing and just raging in map chat all the time, anywhere. So I have just zero clue what's the meta anywhere. I have no clue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Like
know
there are
the.
some easier ones like the casino. I think that's the only one in Crystal
Oh
Oasis.
yeah, that's the only one I know. Yeah, yeah, because this like it's right there. You know, it's just in your face. But apart from
There's
that,
a
nothing.
Yeah.
bunch of like meaty like in Desolation you have the mole. And it used to be super famous because like you had this achievement where you had to like put 1,000 or 100 spikes or something. I don't know. So that used to be big. And there was like
Mm.
the thing is the problem is those metas were famous when Heart of Thorn, Path of Fire came out because of achievement. Like achievement hunters like farmed the shit out of it, and like I think there was a bunch of collections you could get from doing them, but once everybody did them now like they're so no one does them, like it's just it's
Yeah. I
very rare,
actually
but
really enjoyed them all. I quite like that one. Maybe
yeah, I
not
don't,
really, but I enjoyed it.
yeah, it's a shame like they're interesting metas, like the worm as well in Desolation was pretty interesting.
Uh yeah, then it still costs like 2k gems for the mini in the worm.
Oh wow, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, it's just like and then in other maps, I don't know what the meta. Oh, in the skimmer map, what is it called?
Ellen?
Riverlands.
Yeah, there's the imposter meta or whatever.
Oh,
Like that's a
Yeah.
doppelganger. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
that's a pretty fun mechanic.
that
You know,
actually
like
comes from Guild Wars 1, by the way. That's the
Yep.
Oh, really?
Ascension. Yes.
That's how you send it, in Prophecies.
It's a cool meta, and you get an amalgamated gemstone. Can't pronounce that word,
Yeah.
but yeah. Yeah, it's just a lot of like people still do hot metas, but they don't really do buff metas.
Yeah.
Aside,
Yeah.
from confetti, but that's because of confetti, I guess.
I'm actually, I don't know, like, to me the Pathfire maps are kinda very mixed. Like, they are kind of bland to me, but I don't know. It's like, I don't
But
know.
that's what a desert is as well.
Yeah, but like, not
It's
not that way, but it's like, it's either super busy or like there is like completely nothing.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I get that.
So you just quick send and that's fine, but they're like, design wise there is like, I don't know, like the domain of what Webby is the fourth one on the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just like way too busy for me. They're just like, everything is just chaos, which kind of fits obviously because Krakatoric went through there and everything is just branded and stuff and crystals. But I mean, at least on half of the map. But it's just like, wow, I just
There's just like there's some fun parts. Like the thing is, there's some good parts and some bad parts. More than Hot, which was like all around well received. Like Path of Fire, like the mounts were cool. There were some events and part of the story that was super fascinating, like when you go see Grant, and stuff.
Oh,
But
that was so good. Yeah.
that's so good. Oh, like I don't know if you remember this silly event in Vabi where like Joko is trying, like if you have to tell students that Joko is really a dickhead, you know.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
like,
that one.
and you get yelled at by the guard. It's just like the propaganda. Like there's some events that are really fun, or some part of the story when you get into like when you die and stuff. Like it was cool, but there's a lot of things like you said that were extremely bland as well. So
I mean, story-wise, the Path of Fire was absolutely amazing, I think, and
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
one of the best. Heart of Thorns was like really weak to me on story. It was not bad, but it was kind of weak to me because it just ended in like such a weird way, Like it was like, yeah, we are going for more remote, and then you just kill at the end. It just like ended there, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then Path of Fire was like, yeah, it's not gonna go there right away, so it's like goes on and on and on with like the next seasons. I mean, you do kill like Balthazar, of course, but spoilers,
I mean, what we got from Heart of Thorns, the main mystery that continued was the egg, right?
Yeah.
Because Orin only hatched in season 3.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was after Heart of Thorns, yes.
But the last mission thingy in Heart of Thorn was like fun, like the migraine achievement, where like people were
so
actually,
fun.
people were actually selling it. It was like, it was fun though. Like all those,
Wait,
my guild was still active. One day we sat down and we went for that, and it was so much fun doing it with actual people.
Yeah.
Wait,
it's challenging. It was extremely challenging.
That mission was when you were in the mind of Mordremoth, no? That was the last?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And you had, what's the migraine achievement? You had
hard
not
mode.
die? Yeah.
It was hard
but
mode.
like, yeah, because you needed it for a bunch of collections, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually remember. I was mostly pissed because I had to redo that instance 5 times because I either got kicked out of the instance for some whatever reason, or I got bumped up so high by the updraft that it just kicked me out of the instance for some reason,
I had to do it so many times as well. That was the time when my PC realized that my 2 sticks of RAM were in the wrong bit. So it kept crashing the game.
Oof.
Oh,
This was after 4 years. I had it that way, by the way.
Ooh.
So I was so fucking confused.
oh god.
Oh my god. But yeah, fun times. I'm excited for the new Xbox, to be honest. I hope it's, I don't know.
So am I.
I'm actually very, very excited. Like I how to say, so I look at it in like a realistic way, so I don't overhype it for myself, because I don't want to put in like giant high standards, for it, so that they have to meet that so it's good. But I'm like just keeping realistic, like what they can do probably, and what I think they can probably do
Yeah,
during this time.
definitely.
So it's not like I want everything all at once, because I don't know, like
Yeah, it's an MMO. You
yeah,
can't have everything all at once. But it gives me a lot of hope that Grouch and
yeah,
Colin are back. Like, dude, yes.
Yeah. No, it looks amazing. Like just from the when they showed the like fishing and skiffs, like the map just looks breathtaking.
yeah, it's actually really
Uh,
nice.
I missed that stream, but I sort of don't mind because this way I can discover it
yeah.
for myself, I guess.
Yeah, you'll be pleasantly surprised. Like it's
Wait,
just
which stream?
even the skiffs
Uh,
and
Ah,
fishing.
the skiffs and fishing when I think I was in Hungary at that point.
oh yeah, that's when you were home, yeah.
No, it was
Next
beautiful, but yeah.
yeah, next year I'm actually gonna go and kidnap you. Hopefully by that time Elix will actually have a car as well.
Yes,
actually,
take her home,
actually, you
please.
can check the stream, by the way, because it was mostly just escape. So they actually purposely didn't show anything
nice.
more. So they just mostly just showed how the escapes will work. So you don't really
Yeah.
see much.
Yeah, you don't see much, but what you see is just like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna spend my life in there. Like it's just like the water's beautiful and stuff. Like
They
it's
even
like,
zoomed in
yeah.
the minimap so much that you couldn't see more, behind, or
Amazing.
they didn't even show the word map even accidentally either. They actually almost managed to show the full word map once. Do you remember when Ruby was saying to not show my screen right now, and they just
Oh, yes,
almost clicked on it.
Oh boy. Dude,
Yeah.
I can't wait to just chill in a skiff and
Yeah.
fish all day with you guys.
That,
I'm already
Yeah, let's
training
go.
for that in New World.
aside, yeah,
Nice.
as we mentioned skiffs, it's not that bad as I was thinking at first when they were
Yeah.
just showing on images, because an image is just so obviously it's just an image, but even like the first time it was in the trailer, and it was just these moments of it was just felt so stiff, and like nothing fluid in it, in its animation, and like
Yeah.
it just looks
I
so
mean-
weird. But then when they actually showed in the stream, it was like, it's actually pretty fluid animations, and it was like this, this water, what is it called, when it what ripple or what ripple,
Ripple, yeah.
Yeah.
so
I mean, Noxxi,
yeah.
it's supposed to be hardwood. Isn't that supposed to be stiff?
Or stiff. Ooh, woo.
Oh, come on. But yeah, it's actually much better than I mean, obviously the skips won't be the most sought after, yeah, so that
Yeah.
won't be the thing everyone wants, I mean, obviously some people just wants like some strike or raid. I mean, they just continue with strikes, as I know for
I
now.
want raids.
I
I,
want
Fuck
I
raids
yeah.
as
think
well.
there is, that there is very high possibility of raids there, because Kanta does have like at least two, like, which we mentioned, because in Kanta you had
Yeah.
the Urgos Warren and the Deep, which was basically raids in Guild Wars 1. I mean, if you can count it as well, because it was that kind of difficulty. And
Yeah,
they
were
did had
called
really,
elite missions.
yeah, and they had very interesting mechanics as well.
Like,
So
I just miss it. Like, I know that they've done like strikes and DRMs and stuff, but I just miss. First of all, I miss the raiding team. I miss the whole like process of how they made raids and how there was a story in the raid wing and you had dialogue and you had a map. Like, I just miss the whole like atmosphere, and you don't have that when you enter strikes. Like, it's
yeah,
a
yeah,
cold. Like a strike, there's a boss standing in the middle, and it's
yeah.
around
Just
the
go in,
area,
kill it, and
and
go out. That's just like no fear,
yeah,
nothing
like there's no
personal, kid, and just
story. And like I just like, yeah, the whole lore around raids was really fun. The whole like team as well. And you know how like they had like a bunch of like alpha players or whatever that actually tested the raid, like, I don't know, I just miss
Yeah,
that a lot.
I get you. I had a big like 2 year break around the
Hmm.
time season 2 ended, and I came back after Heart of Thorns, and I absolutely loved watching all the guild chats that talk about raid design and all that.
yeah,
It
Yeah.
was just the best thing ever.
Yeah, and you're figuring out the raid, like Skay said, just like going in and figuring out what is helpful, what is needed, and like clearing it. And I don't know, like strikes or DRMs, you can literally do it
Brute
without
force
really
it.
understanding the mechanics. Whereas,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just, yeah, I miss the whole thing and the whole team of like devs that were in part of raid team.
Yes.
They were amazing. So yeah, I don't know.
I actually when Wing 5 released, I actually went in with a puck to Desmina. I think we got her to like 95% or something. No, actually 75% with the pug
That's so
for
cool. Like,
release.
that's the best part. Like, you just go in and you're like, and then you see those LFGs and they're like, yeah, looking for, well, we don't really know, but let's fucking go. Like, it's
Oh
yeah,
just
yeah.
amazing.
I also remember watching Teapot's progression as well at the same
yeah.
time.
Same.
It was just
That is
so
a
much
mad lad.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah. He, like, when Wing 7 came out, like, he farmed the shit out of it.
Oh yeah.
I remember going to sleep. We had barely killed Sabir, and I woke up and like he had done all CMs, he had done all achievements. It was insane, but he had done it like over, I don't remember how many
Yeah.
hours, but
For Wing 7 I watched Lynn and Derp do the progression,
mhm.
and I think I was in Hungary at the time yet again, and they were done just around 1 in the morning with all CMs, everything, all achievements.
Yeah, yeah. It's cool though. And like, just theory crafting what you need, what is
Yeah,
optimal, like, stack scourges, like how, like, on Kalim too, like, okay, we have those pylons. What do we use? Oh, maybe scourges because they have the teleport. And then so Scourge was the mess at the beginning, and then QT figured out, oh no, we need thieves. Thieves are so much more. It was fun, and I miss this whole thing. Like, I
oh yeah,
understand.
definitely.
Yeah. Like a lot of players like raiders like me are jaded because there's no new raids and stuff, but it's just I understand their frustration because I miss that part, but like the problem is the way they complain is not healthy. Like it's
Yeah.
just stop barking. Like, there
Yeah,
were massive layoffs, they're preparing an X-Pac, chill out. Have some fun in the meantime and stop complaining. But yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
definitely. At the start of the year, I actually played some WoW Shadowlands, and it was so much fun progressing through Castle Narthia in Heroic with the guys I was playing with. It was just
Yeah.
I wish Guild Wars 2 had more raids, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually nice to go through these because I do somewhat enjoy raids. Like when I played retail WoW, well, the newest expansions mostly because I wasn't really there on the older ones that much, or well, I wasn't raiding in them. I was just doing just simple PV because I was
Mhm.
more into the story. But the raids also have huge story parts. But I in the end I did started to enjoy like just going the looking for raid and just the LFR way and just going it with complete randoms, but it was still fun. We could do the stuff. There were cool people who were like explaining, they weren't just raging like, oh my god, we have no noobs everywhere and whatever. They were like, who
Yeah.
doesn't understand this mechanic? Just say it. and I was
Yeah.
like there, like, yeah, I this is my first time, I never did it. And then the dude just started to explain, like, when you see this on the ground, or when this effect happens, you do this and do that, and it was like that. And and I just tried to learn, because I'm more of a visual learner than, like, reading how it's done. So
Yeah.
I usually have to experience it first. But then the second time, like, Rava, you got me into, I mean, not that you got me into rating, but you were the first who I rated with, basically, like, in a more serious way.
Yes.
And, like, we were on the freaking overseer, and you were like, okay, you pick that shit up and then use this, the, what was it?
Yeah.
The
The
Flame.
dispel. You
dispel,
have
yeah,
to
yeah,
dispel
dispel.
because
Nice.
And then I rated with my friends when I was doing the achievements, for these, and you had to use the shield one. What is a protector? Whatever. I don't know.
protect. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, you
Yeah,
had
protect.
had to use it once during the raid, on that fight. And then I just went in, and even on our first raid, on the overseer, because I didn't have the achievements then, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, should I use the dispel? And my friends were like, no, 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 that's something not you should not do. And I was like, but I did it
What?
on my first time, and they were like, what?
But that's the
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Like people, the problem, no, that's all right. It's just like people, like you've seen me. I read more than I do other stuff on stream. And like, I love training people, but like, I don't do, like, I've seen a lot of people who do that. And that's good for them, where they take people and they explain 569 mechanics before the fight. Whereas I'm there and I'm like, okay, if you get this mechanic, put it there. If you get this mechanic, put it there. And then we start the fight and I re explain as we do the fight. But I
Yeah,
also, like, for example, I make new players do mushrooms. And a lot of players say, oh, but they've never raided. Don't make them do mushroom on slot. It's like, yeah, but how will they ever freaking learn? Then you have like those players with like 50 allies, which is not a lot, but it's still 50 allies, that are like, I've never done mushrooms before, because no one lets them do mushrooms. And it's like, dude, you just press 1 on 3 mushrooms and that's it. Like,
yeah,
The first time I done Sabetha, I had like what 10 ally or something. Lynn
Mhm.
smuggled me into a 250 ally group, and we were in Discord, just him and I. And he was basically telling me when the cannons were up, when everything was. He forced me to do cannons, but I actually enjoyed it and I actually learned from it, and it was just so much better than like, no, you're new, don't do it. Like it's just
no, that's,
yeah.
yeah. Like, there's rules, obviously, that it's better to do the fight first, but those are not mechanics, they're rules. Like, if
yeah,
you're a new player, I'm not gonna make you tank on Doom if you've never killed Doom, because like, I can show you where to place Doom, but the problem is, if you've never killed Doom, you won't understand why he smacks you harder if you're not standing directly under his like feet. So
yeah,
it's better to experience the fight, but like, it's not because you've never killed something that you shouldn't do a mechanic. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I actually tanked Doom the first time I done it, but that's because I watched Teapot and streamers do it so many times that I knew where to stand and everything.
See, that's okay.
I did
Like,
actually learn a lot like that way as well. Like, I was just watching Teapot and Rava for a lot of time raiding, and I was like, yeah, I kind of starting to understand why something happens, or why you have to be there. Actually, Rava, there is one thing that I actually completely fucked up each time we did Doom. You know the
Mhm.
thing when it splits your body and soul out, and it pushes you
Yeah.
backward. I actually didn't know that thing pushes you, like, backward
Oh,
from
back.
your perspective. So I was
Yeah.
like always like facing, or actually don't know how to say. Oh yeah, I was facing away from Doom, so I was pushed into Doom instead of, to the
Yeah.
wall, because I was
See,
like, just don't face him, and like, what do I do? I don't get it.
Yeah.
I had something similar on Doom. I was trying to do orbs, and I remembered that the orbs are gonna be on the left. I didn't remember
Mhm.
the part when if you look to the center, the orbs are gonna be to the left.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
So we vibed so many times because of me.
But see, no, but that's the thing. There's so many little intricacies that even like veteran raiders don't understand. Like the problem is because they watch or they read or they see like Snowcrows, Teapot, and stuff do those things. Raiders will be like, "This is how you do things," but deep down they don't really understand why those things happen. Like unless, like for example, people who have intricate knowledge of raids, Teapot is one of them. He understands those raids better than anybody. Peng is one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jin, like but there's a lot of things that like, and because people, some raiders with a lot of li are stuck in their ways because it's always been the way it's been done, they think that they can't kill or they can't kill, or they can't do a mechanic another way, and then they explain those mechanics, and sometimes there's much simpler ways to do that very mechanic, and they don't know how to explain that, and if you try another way they'll like yell at you, and it's like, dude, you actually don't understand the fight, mate. Like,
Yeah,
but
we had someone like that in my static, and we wanted to do something a different way because it would have been more efficient. But she was like, "Yeah, but it works this way. Like it's already working. Why would we change that?"
yeah.
Yeah,
It's insane. And like
yeah,
the problem here is like they communicate that knowledge to those players, but they don't really explain why. So you have those new players learning raids and they're taught to do the certain things, but they don't really understand why. Like
Yeah.
I had to explain to someone with 2000 li like why they were eating too many mushrooms on sloth. Like they didn't understand, if you, the more mushrooms you eat, the faster the poison goes back. And they
Yeah.
were like, "Oh, that's..."
yeah,
So they were like literally clearing the whole platform, and I'm like, "Mate, what are you doing? You're 2000 like person." It's like, "No, it's just we need space," and it's like, "No, you don't. You're killing us." And
yeah.
stuff like this, like
I
it's
had
yeah.
one really good teacher in Crossroads when I was training with them. Kaz, he's a German dude. We were doing
Hmm.
camp training, and at first he didn't even let us touch the boss. We were just practicing sidestepping the teleports,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and it just stuck in me so bad that I have to sidestep, that I don't need to dodge. I don't need to do this and that. That it's so much easier.
yeah. But
Everything.
because most people tell you dodge or like panic, and it's like, dude, you
Yeah,
have plenty of time. Like, chill out. Don't worry about it. Like, you know. But it's just, yeah, those like for fun, Skay, Zeph, and I join raids, and we like go like not incognito, but like we don't tell them, like we just ping a little bit of li. We join those raids, and the amount of shit that are taught to, like, that are said that are not true, like, you need a druid, you can't kill without a druid. That's not true.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
yeah,
spirits are helpful, but like, you need, oh, Scourge is shit. Scourge can carry every freaking fight. Like, it is just like those little things and those misinformation, because people see pro raiders doing it a certain way, which is the optimized way. But like, those are pro raiders that have like
yeah,
intricate knowledge of the fight, and they understand it to the core, so they know how to like problem solve. But yeah,
yeah.
most,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, we used to do some like training on easier things, and whenever someone came in, but Snowcross says this. One of us just went like, "Yeah, but we are not going for a speed run or a
yeah.
speed kill. Like, come on, dude."
That's so true. Like, you know what Snowcross does? They run I think is it a chrono hand kiter on Deimos or something? Or
Something like
they
that. Yeah,
they used to run like even their hand kiter as a rev used to be full diviner. The damage you take on Deimos as a hand kiter is quite enormous. Like, people will run, I run full magi because I I hurt too much, but they will run like full diviners because they know what they're doing. So don't
yeah,
follow Snowcross unless
Yeah.
you can play like Snowcross. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Exactly.
It's just crazy.
And you know
But
this.
yeah,
No,
go for it.
just so what I want to say to this, like the rating, is that what makes me kind of angry sometimes is when people keep, yelling this thing of, toxic elitists, because toxic
Mm.
raiders and stuff, like, wow, they just won't let me play what I want. But the problem is that it's actually the actual raiders who know what they do and stuff. All the thing, like like Teapot and Pang and you, Rava and stuff. You guys are not toxic because you know that you can do anything you can because you understand the mechanics. But the problem is that there are pugs and pug groups that are like, yeah, I don't understand shit, so I'm just gonna say that I need 5,000 ally so I can get carried because others will know what to do then. And then they just like, oh, but this page says that you are a Scourge, but this needs a Reaper, so get kicked out. And then they just go, and then the Reaper or the Scourge gets kicked, and then they proceed to move to Reddit and then just rant about like, wow, this fucking elite is just asking for 5,000 ally, and then they kick me out. Like, yeah, this is so like this literally.
That's why, like, you can actually categorize raiders into 3 categories. The number one is new players, so they have low amount of allies, but they're willing to learn, they're willing to understand. You have the middle one, which is the worst group in my opinion, which they have a decent amount of ally, but they only follow Snowcores by the book.
Yeah.
They don't really understand mechanics. They know that they have to do this. And that's it, and you can't deviate from it, and that's what Teapot does and stuff. But even though they'll bash Teapot when he like tries other strats that differ, and then you have like raiders that have been doing this for a fuck long time. Like Zeph has number 1 ally in the game, I think. I have one of the highest ally amounts. Like we have a fuck ton of ally, but like we don't give a shit. Like we do our thing. And we follow some, like, obviously if you want to show up like with 3 healers on a boss, it's gonna be like, no mate, we want to kill the boss. But like I'll never, and those usually Peng will never like tell you, if you're asked by Peng to play DPS, he's never gonna tell you play this DPS. Just play a DPS you're comfortable with, that you understand, that has a good build. But yeah, so you have to be careful of those, like the middle players, which have a lot of, not that much ally, but they really don't understand. Like the amount of people who actually don't understand how a fight works is insane. And there's so many, and then they teach you the wrong thing. They bash you all the time, and it's like, so yeah, it's almost laughable. Like
so basically, the tier 3 fractal equivalent of raiding.
And all of the tier 4 that have less than 15k ally, because like that's in fractals there's also massive problems where we've been encountering that so much as a group. We always need 1 player, and we always have to ask, we want a DPS player, we don't care what DPS you play, but we want CC. And every time someone joins that has below this 15k, they say, why do you need CC? We have a heal brand. Why do you need CC? We have a warrior. They don't understand that the better you CC, the faster you kill that boss.
Yeah.
Like Fractals is so high pace, like, and it's just like, oh, we have a renegade. No, the renegade has to give stab. The renegade has to give might. So the renegade will CC, but it's not the only renegade that should CC. And it's just so infuriating. Like we have, like, the worst part is every time a Scourge joins, Scourge has so many amounts of integrated CC that they can do without losing any DPS. Like bring a Golem, bring Spectral Grasp. I've had a Skay and Jin. They're the 2 Necros that I know that are the most incredible Necros I know. They bring those 2 skills compared to Necros that will bring like CC skills. You're a great Necro. But they bring those 2 CC skills instead of the DPS skills. They yeet in terms of DPS compared to those guys who refuse to CC and bring the DPS skills. And most of the guys are on the ground. Like, it's just like, it's so frustrating because there's this DPS meta when they don't understand that fractals, if you want to win fractals, freaking CC and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Honestly, this type that you, by the way, that you describe for raids, that they are the middle, who just do things by the book, they actually remind me of these people from my ex workplace where I worked in the other company, and they were like what's it called, electricians or what, or mechanics, And these
Yeah.
type of dudes who just fix or just trying to fix your stuff, but they don't work with the machines that you use and like literally live with each day at that point.
Yeah.
And they just like, you ask them for help and they are like, yeah, so it should be, the problem should be here. And I'm like, no, the problem won't be there. Yeah, but the paper says that that this thing is here. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about your paper. The problem is not there. The problem is there because of that thing works that way, and it does that kind of damage to the machine because that shit next to it works that way. And they're like, but the paper says that. I don't give a shit about your paper. It's not how it works. Like, that infuriates me the most in like real life as well, because they just don't
Yeah.
listen to like actual in practice thing that which is the reality.
Yeah. Well, it's like, for example, to switch the subject, but the same kind of thing. If you're like, I can't talk about other subjects, but I'm a scientist, right? I used to read books about science, and those books were very educative, but everything was perfect, right? You had, for example, a curve, and I don't know if you've ever seen those perfect curve that like show the distribution of stuff, and it's just perfect, like it's a
Yeah.
perfect curve. And then I transitioned to research where it's outside of the books, like I make the books, right?
Yeah.
And you have this wobbly fucking curve that looks like nothing, and you're like, what? The book said that my curve should be perfect, like what's happening? And it's just like, that's like how you recognize people who can actually think for themselves and can adapt, than people who are too rigid in their ways, and they will never get shit done, because if it deviates from what they know, they won't be able to like pretty much be themselves.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating, but you know what? I'm glad I know you and we can rate together, and it's Mimi as fuck.
Yeah. But yeah, back to kind of Guild Wars 2.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing that always makes me a little bit mad, because people like keep pointing at people like like your kind of people, like Teapot, Pang, and all all the other type of people who are
Streamers.
basically like Mello and all the others, and they're like, yeah, those toxic streamers, those toxic raiders and stuff, like, and they don't understand shit, like, oh my god, like,
Yeah,
look, I'm
man. Yeah,
like, yeah.
sorry.
I have yet to see them being toxic. Like Teapot is like, yeah, well, I get frustrated, but we're not toxic. We won't bash. Like the only time I bash someone is because the person I bash is a toxic asshole who like
Yeah.
tries to put down everybody. Like that's when you see me get toxic, because it pisses me off.
Yeah,
But
from my experience, Teapot as well only bashes someone if they say they are experienced, but they are not.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true, and that's actually
but like, yeah, I've never seen any streamers be toxic. Like it's not good for them to be toxic. Like, but that's the thing, because like people swap elitist for streamers, because a lot of streamers do raids. They're like, they're so toxic. It's like, dude, we've never said anything toxic to you, and when we fuck up, like it's literally broadcasted to 100 people, so it's not as if we can, like.
Yeah.
So you know how we do the meme rage stuff, so we roll the wheel, and then whatever lands on the wheel, we have
and it
to kill
still
the
works.
boss. Yeah, 90% of the time we kill the boss, sometimes without alacrity, sometimes without might, sometimes. And then we post the logs. I post the logs in Hall of Fame and stuff. I got a DM on Instagram by someone anonymous that says, you are the reason why raids are shit. You are letting casuals in.
Off. Yeah.
You suck. And I'm like, huh?
What?
The fuck?
Yeah.
What the hell?
It's quite the opposite, honestly, but never mind.
Yeah, it sounds like that person wants the game to die.
Yeah, it's like, you're
The
just
odd
jealous
game,
because we can freaking kill an SH without any chronos.
Oh wow.
Yeah. There's a lot of them, but none of them are streamers. I can tell you, I'm pretty sure that wasn't Mela or Teapot or Peng who sent me that DM, because most of them, I've asked them if they wanted to participate, and they've all said, like Peng has done meme raids with me like many times. Like, it's just, yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, I have like a hard time with raids because I have a very bad, like, I'm not sure how to say. So I have a bad time with trying to focus. So I like can't really multitask that well in anything at all, honestly. So like I'm in when I'm in raid and trying to do things, I'm like either like concentrating to CC or do a certain mechanic, or just just like blindly like auto attack, because I just zone out and just look like don't understand sometimes what I do, but I still kind of manage to do my thing. So it's
Honestly, I feel like that's something that comes with time as you get more used to it.
yeah, probably, honestly, but I'm
Like,
not sure.
by the way, Noxy, you lied to me. You said, "Oh, yeah, you'll see, I struggle with rotation and stuff." But when I took your rating, you did really well, and you picked up really fast.
Raava, I
So
did nothing but just press like 3 buttons.
yeah, but I know, but that's Scourge. You can literally smash
I know.
everything, and you could do. But
By the
like, you
way,
epied on time, you CC'd on time, you did the mechanics. You had mechanics at some point, and you did those mechanics. And people can vouch. Okay, they all saw you.
I actually really enjoyed the first 4 wings. They're actually really fun, honestly. I don't know the rest. I mean, even Doom is kind of fun, honestly. It's not that hard. There's just a lot going on at once all the time. I'll not
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
maybe not as much as for like Quadim that I seen. Well, because I was working on those videos for Mock, but
Yeah.
like there is a load of things were happening there all the time, and I
Yeah.
did see you doing those as well.
well, if you
The-
don't want a lot going on Doom, just tank it.
Yeah, pretty much. Not on CM though. If you tank
No,
on
not
CM, you
oh,
cry.
yeah, I tried that. I wanted to, yeah.
It's the worst. It's really interesting because Doom normal mode, the tank has the easiest job, the kiter has the hardest job. Doom CM, the tank, it becomes hardest job. The kiter is like, yeah, I'm chilling, bro. You can't pick me up.
I actually wanted
Yeah.
to try out the thing on Doom just to experience it once. How does it work? The thing
Let's go tomorrow,
when
Noxy. I'll
you
take you on a
when
CM, baby.
when you sacrifice yourself, and then you have to collect those, because I still not I have not experienced yet how do you control yourself there. So I actually don't know, like, do you
Oh, you mean the
like
green?
yeah, when you sacrifice yourself instead of the ghost,
Oh,
the
yeah.
shit. So you
So
go up there
it's
and then you have to collect the orbs.
yeah. So it's a lot of people get really freaked out because you have a very limited time to
Yeah,
collect
yeah, yeah,
5 orbs, and you need to collect that big orb, otherwise the skeleton
yeah, yeah.
spawns. But it's
Mm.
really a lot of people struggle with it because like they panic. And it's like, and they go through you the orbs, like you have to experience it, like the way you say it, like, because there's certain mistakes that the more you make them, the more you understand how to avoid it or what's going to happen. If you're free tomorrow, we could do Doom and you could try.
Maybe next time. I'm not sure yet.
Also,
Yeah.
sort of mediocre training for that is going up in Ether of Souls.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
have a
Oh
but
bit
yeah.
more
yeah.
buttons to press, but
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
no, I just wanted to say that honestly, the entire Doom is basically just the previous 3 or how many bosses at once,
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty much. Like,
because
yeah.
you have the cracks on the ice dude. I actually don't know the names of the bosses. That Ice King or what,
Frozen King.
Frozen King. You have the cracks there, and that I don't know what. Uh, you have the orbs from the ether, and
Yeah.
there is something from
Darkness.
Desmina as
The
well
eyes.
when you go
The
through.
skeleton. I don't know actually.
Desmina, I would say maybe the golems, but
Yeah,
There
no
is some
preference.
there is some debuff that you get on Desmina that works. I'm not sure. Well, whatever. It,
Hmm.
it really doesn't matter. But yeah, it's basically
But
I do see that raids basically start to like combine the further you
yeah.
go into the raid, the more they just combine the previous. So they like try to teach you mechanics before you get to the end boss. Well,
And
not
Yeah,
like,
not
no, that's true.
not in every case, of course, but like they kind of try to do that.
but even some of them within the boss, like Sabir, for example. That's perfect how it teaches you how to kill it
Yeah.
in the first like 40%.
Yeah, and then they add that. Yeah, no, that's true. It's really good how they make those bosses. Sometimes it feels like they threw everything like it on people. Like severe CM makes no sense. It's like, yeah, we're just gonna add everything, and yeah, add some wisp on the platform. It's just like, but Adina CM becomes like Adina CM is hilarious. Like it's just so fun that you can just die straight by just falling in a hole. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what?
Oh yeah, yeah. A good meme every time we started Adina CM the first time we went
Oh
in
yeah,
is someone shouted, "Don't forget the holes," and someone instantly went into one of them.
yeah. It's like now it's really funny because I do it weekly, right? For us, it's an easy CM.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so like even when we do normal mode, you can see Skay, Zeph, Bear, and I, and we're like, oh shit, okay, I can't. And you can see us literally like sidestep it, even though there's no holes there. We're just
Yep.
like, no.
I think I've done something similar when I was raiding with you guys. I dodged something that you guys just aegis because
Yeah.
I was so
Oh,
used to dodging all the time.
well, on Sabir, for example, you have that shockwave, right? That like
Oh
insta
yeah,
kill
yeah.
you. So we're lazy as shit, and we run a heal tempest and a DPS tempest, so that we rebound everyone, so we never have to like fly up. And you can see us whenever we do like that fight without tempest. Like you can see that you can be sure that one of us will be on the floor at some point. Like fuck, we need to go
Amazing.
up. It's just yeah, you have like you get to learn those like little pro tricks. They're not see that's another thing. Those are not meta. We're not running a meta comp. We're wasting a shitty healer. Well, a Tempest healer is not the greatest healer. You'd rather run something that gives quickness, like a heal firebrand, or alacrity, like a heal brand. But no, we actually
or a
run.
scrapper, right?
Ah, yes, the acute scrap. Yes, yes.
Oh yeah.
So you want something that gives something else than healing, but no. So we'll run a druid, a tempest, two quick brand, and on top of that, the tempest DPS is not as great as a firebrand, for example. So it's not a meta comp, but it's a comp that works really well. And if you were to run like to propose this comp to like those middle class raider I told you about, you'd get yeeted out saying, "Oh, you're inexperienced and stuff," when it's not true.
Yep.
By the way,
Yeah.
I'm genuinely don't know, but in terms of rewards, what is the difference between normal and CM? Like,
So the reason why people run CM, it's very novel, it's very new. Before there was nothing like once you did CM once, you were done. Like you got the achievement.
mhm.
For example, in Wing 4, if you do all the CMs, you get the portable crystal thing. So for example, whenever you get minis, you can sell them directly there
Yeah.
on that portable thing. You did the same for Wings 5, 6, and 7, but for gating crystals. But now, when you do 5 CMs a week, you get a bunch of provisioner tokens. So
Oh,
those help you with legendary
Yep.
armor. So that's why people pick 5 easy CMs. So the meta in terms of CMs would be I've never met anybody else who does Adina, but it's definitely Sabir, Casey, Cairn, CA. And
yeah,
I never
Casey
know.
is super easy. That's actually ridiculously easy. We actually did it on the first time with friends.
Wait, the
Yeah.
KC one is included in that?
Yeah, so the
Oh,
KCCM
okay.
where yeah. So it only starts after Wing 2 doesn't have CMs, Wing 3 only has KC, Wing 4 has a bunch of CMs. Oh yeah, a lot of people do MO. That's the fifth one. But
Yeah.
personally, like it stresses me out because if the DPS is not like exactly on time, you either get spiked or you die from the blue. So for me, it's one of the most stressing out. But like, for example, we run Sabir, Adina, SH because Skay and I just love SH. And then we'll go for Mo and Cairn or Mo and KC,
Yeah,
and
in
like that
in
you get provisioners.
Oh,
in Planix raids we do Conjured Amalgamate, SH, Sabir, and then Karen and Emil for CMs.
Yeah. It's just like if you're going for the legendary armor, that's really helpful because that's less provisioner token that you need to do. That's time gated, or you need to give a lot of resources.
And you save gold
Um,
on it as well, because
Yep.
yeah,
yeah.
and I think you get a bit of gold as well. Like I don't remember, like yeah, you get a bit of gold, and it's just challenging. Like a little bit of challenge never killed anybody. I know
Exactly.
that Pang with his static at reset does Doom CM. I'm like, and Largos, and
Oh,
I'm like, yeah, okay, you have issues, but
holy shit.
like, yeah.
I'm kind of sad that
Oh, Tench.
I'm kind of sad that many people are afraid of raids. Like before, I didn't I actually didn't do raids because it's not that I was afraid of raiding. Like I did say that I have, like, bad focus and stuff, and I just don't want to mess up that much. But honestly, I just didn't have anything to work for that actually raid helped me with, until they actually announced the legendary armory, which I started to work on the legendary armor, which I still didn't finish because I just didn't have time for stuff lately. So,
Yeah, but that's
Van,
like, yeah.
but I have
Go for it,
three
Cher.
pieces.
yeah, like when I started raiding, I was super anxious. Like that was before I got medicated for my anxiety. And at one point, I was like, fuck it, I will join Planix because he was doing these raid trainings on Sundays. And it was Wing 3. I joined in, it was a lot of fun, and I decided, okay, I will try Crossroads. And from that on, I actually got into raiding and everything, even though I was super scared of everyone and everything.
I mean, it's daunting, and especially because of the what is it called, the old view of raids. Like there used to be those old elitist raiders that
Yeah.
made it so toxic. Like it was really scary to do raids back in the day when raids came out because it was like, oh, like this god mode status. But the more and more like people like Pang started streaming Teapot and stuff, like showed, yo, raids are not scary. Like, Souls does raid training, I do raid training. And like we like a lot of people join us, and I've discussed this with Souls, and they join us and they're super nervous at the beginning, and then they realize it's like, dude, we're just hanging out. I explained to you it's a training. If you fuck up, you fuck up. Like, it's fine, but there's still this, because like for like so many years when raids came out, there was this like environment of like, you must be good and you must run meta and your DPS and blah, blah,
No,
blah.
Yeah.
It's useless. Like personally, and I think a lot of people ask that, is like, bring a build that you're comfortable with, but we don't want a build that you got from Antarctica. Like, like I want a
yeah.
proper build.
Use your
Like
brain, basically.
yeah, like just run what you like, run what's meta, run what, like, I don't know if you remember, Noxy, but you wanted to come on Heal Scourge when
Oh
we
yeah, yeah,
discussed
yeah.
trading,
Because I was,
and I was like, Noxy, I love you, but no, I won't let you heal because I want you
Oh
to
god.
experience raids as a DPS first, because if you
yeah,
heal, you have like 9 players on your ass that
yeah.
needs your healing. And
Also,
like
like heal scourge as someone who's first time in raids. In Pugs, I got killed by a heal scourge so many times.
they pulled you into a mechanic that insta downed
Yep.
you. Yep.
Yep. Yep.
That's the thing. I do that, and I've been raiding since Rage came out. Like,
Yeah,
I think I
but
put
Rava, from you, I would accept as a form of spanking, okay, but
Oh
not in a
yeah.
pug.
Fair enough. But like, yeah, that's what Liluf said is like, today she learned severe CM on Druid, and she did well, but it's so much like, she's the might giver, she has to give spirits and stuff. So on Adina, which is a much harder fight on CM, I'm like, okay, Niluf, you're going DPS now. And as long as you bring a proper build, it doesn't matter. Like, just join, and don't be like, obviously being scared is normal, but if the streamer is a dick, then they shouldn't be streaming for once, and they shouldn't be raid
Yeah.
training, because the raid training
Yep.
should be about learning. And yeah, I don't know.
I do.
It's yeah.
I kind of do admit that there can be like shitty raid trainings that probably turn off people from
Oh
raiding.
yeah,
So that's
definitely.
that's that's definitely happening. And
Yeah.
just give people bad experience. And then the saddest is, that was their first attempt, and then they are like stuck with this feel that, yeah, this shit just fucking sucks because they like expect me to do these hikes, so it's just a bad experience for them, and then they just don't want to get back into it anymore, or maybe just
Oh
very
yeah,
very later.
definitely.
But that's the same problem we were talking about earlier, where like a lot of people don't understand raids
Yeah,
or think
yeah.
they need to run. Like a lot of people say, yes, bring ascended gear. Ascended gear can cost you upwards like minimum 200 gold to craft if you don't have like loot.
Yep.
And there's no difference. You can take Zeph. We did this test one day. Zeph came on full exotic gear on NA with his NA account, full exotic, and he beat every single person that had full ascended gear with like infusion. And
I
it's like,
do
dude,
that.
yeah.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
go for it. That was it.
I do that on my alt account. Like I have another U alt, and I have basically an engineer geared
Mhm.
up in full exotics, and I do that. I just go in pugs, look at the DPS meter, and laugh.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Like there used to be this terrible add-on before DPS meter that could check your gear, and now
Yeah.
it got banned. But that was
BGDM.
terrible. Yeah, and it was like terrible because people were like, "Oh, you're only wearing exotic gear." Like sometimes it was helpful because you realize that this guy joined with like full like minstrel gear, and so the tank aggro was all fucked up. And it's like, no, it is a raid training, but please bring bring full berserker. Like I'll give you the gold to buy the berserker gear so you can come. And then those people are like, no, I refuse to do this. And then
Yeah.
that's how you notice how someone doesn't want to get trained. But like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
I
like,
understand that, but like in the group that I'm raiding with, every now and then, one of the guys is actually considering gear checking one of the others, because at one point, the guy on full DPS gear done less DPS as a freshly level 80 soldier's gear core Ellie.
okay, yeah, maybe there's something to check here. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like the problem is like, I don't know, like there needs to be a balance. Like, for example, people think that arc DPS is to use against players. It shouldn't be about that. It should be like like personally, I use arc DPS to, well, no, I use arc DPS for two reasons. Number one, to check how I'm doing compared to others. And number two is to like put in check players who like to talk
Who's the
trash, like, you know.
weakest chain?
No, like no, I will not even look at like the lowest DPS. I will like, there's always that one guy. It's like, yeah, I'm in the DPS. Put me with the dude. I want spotter, even though they don't need spotter, but they don't understand that. And I'm missing quickness and stuff. And it's like you look at their DPS and you have like Zeph or other really good players. Rocka is one of them, incredible player that just like destroys them, and they're in the same subgroup. So it's not the quickness, it's just their shit, but they like to talk shit.
Yeah.
So that's my
Yeah.
favorite thing is like, hey, you're shit, shut the fuck up. You know?
Yeah, right. Oh my god, that reminds me of one. We missed a couple of people, so we pogged Sabir.
Mhm.
And there was this one guy. He done good DPS, yeah, but there were things, and basically he left the group and put it in another Discord. Imagine clearing channel a screenshot of
Mhm.
us and the DPS meter, and he was at top by far, by like 5-6k. Yeah,
Mhm.
but he was the only one not rezzing when
Yeah, well,
someone
that's
went
what.
down, and that's why we
Yeah,
vibed many times.
yeah.
And
But
surprise, surprise, once he left, we killed it.
that's also another thing people don't understand. People are down DPS, like real good players will DPS players will, like the reason why QT Snow Crows and stuff. I don't know if you've ever seen their kill, like when they train or and stuff. The moment someone goes down, they press F.
Yeah.
The moment someone,
Yep.
all of them
I
besides
spawned
the
it
druid,
as well.
like the druid is here to heal. If the druid has to press F, you lose your might, you lose your regen, you lose your protection, you start dying. So the druid should not be the reser. the moment someone goes down, and I've noticed that, like, that's why I became friends with Zeph. Like, he had incredible DPS, but the moment I went down as a druid, he would always press F and still be top DPS. And like, I think you can hear Teapot says the same thing. Pang say the same thing. Like, good groups will do mechanics, they will CC, and they will press F when there's an F to press. Like, and that's what people don't
Exactly.
understand.
I will pay my respects as well. Impressive.
You see? Like,
Ah.
I had never seen, like, I think it was a sloth skill for one of the ERPs, like maybe ERP 1 or 2. And QT, that were running no healers, I believe, or something like that. Every time someone went down, you could blink and he was back up. And I was just like, oh, okay. And that's like, those are like the heaviest DPS players I've ever seen.
I mean, look at Mook as well. Like, always, he spams like revive all the time with everything he can, because that matters more. Not because he just like trains people or just run-ons with like training people sometimes, but like actually like spams revive all the time, because that matters more. I mean, that's also more of a DPS or help downtime while someone is down, because they can't do anything. They like it's just dead weight while they are down, so you have to bring them back as fast as possible.
Like, I remember a few weeks ago, I helped a group get their first zero kill. It was with Ape Junk and Sam, I think. I was the tank, and they were like, there was so many mobs that were like destroying me. So even as the tank, I couldn't do anything. Went down, and I saw Reaper literally spin to win on my corpse to kill Zera. And I was like, I called him out. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm down. I'm your tank. Zera won't move unless you get me up. She doesn't move. All those red orbs are gonna come on your ass. And it's just like, this is how you recognize a good player. So like, it's a shame, because a lot of players were like, this DPS is so good, and it's like, why won't you take him in your static? Like, there's a bunch of players that played on my static. I reset, and I don't take them, but I'll take the player that had lower DPS but rezzed, because I know that they can. First of all, they can handle rezzing, but also those are more adaptable players, and adaptability is what you want, because no raids can go the exact way you want it to go, like Snow Crows. Like sometimes someone will miss a bomb, sometimes and those are the best players. And yes, it was Achilles or whatever what Sarah's saying, just spinning to win on my corpse.
Sarah, hello.
But yeah, just to kind of finish it off, because we are nearing the end. Actually, just wanted to say a good example on the thing of like like you don't really need like hyper good gear to raid. Like there's literally Teapot's video and stream where they did raids with like what
Full green, wasn't
it?
Yeah,
it was full green, and they were level 78, I think, or 77 or 78. So they weren't even 80. They had no elite specs, just core, and they still did raids easily without struggle.
Oh,
Well,
that sounds
not
like
that
a good
much.
meme.
And
that's
like
it's the player, yeah.
And then you like people does these things to actually prove players and people to that raids aren't that hard. You just have to understand what you have to do. Like the entire point of raids in every game, it's not the name. You don't have to be afraid. It just means that you have to learn. You need to be willing to learn mechanics to know what to do when. It's not just you stand there and just attack, 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 because that's not how it works. It's not PvE.
Yeah. Once again, it's really not the gear, it's not the way you press your buttons like in a certain rotation based on the Snowcore's website. It's literally the player. Like the best players are actually can pretty much raid in anything, as long as they know what they're doing.
Attitude.
Yeah.
Obviously, sorry for interrupting. Obviously, obviously there have to be some kind of DPS for people, so you can go in like, not dealing any damage and like, oh yeah, we will get it in like 2 hours. That's not how it works, because there is a timer, at least, as I know, for Enrage, like in good old MMOs as well. But like, people don't understand when like, just don't want to go too off topic with it, but like, people sometimes rage that they say things like, oh, they expect me to bring this and that. It's not that they expect, they just want you to deal certain damage because you need that. Mathematically, you need it to actually defeat it. And
Yeah. Like in Guild Wars 2, you don't even need that much damage. It's like in WoW,
yeah,
for example.
I mean, there are
No, I
like
agree.
speedrunners doing it in like 3 or 4 minutes. Like, dude, it's really not that. No.
But that's the thing. Like the reason why, like for example, the reason why when I do a training, I ask people to bring the proper build. It's not to be an elitist. It's just you giving yourself the best chance. If you
Yeah,
have the proper gear, then you can like it's okay. I don't care about your rotation, but at least I know that you brought the best that you can. And I don't mean like ascended gear. Exotic will be enough, but I know there was like a few months ago with Broca and a bunch of other streamers, there was this whole like debate around who should join raid and what gear they
oh
should
yeah, I
bring and
remember.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna delve into it, but Broca made some really good points. Like it's just bring to the table. Like imagine you have an exam, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't, and you need a pencil and an eraser. Bring that, you know.
Yeah.
And then do the exam, but don't show up with nothing and expect to write with like I don't know dinking or like know what I mean. Like just
Yeah.
bring
Yeah.
Yeah.
what is asked and then we can teach you. But like expecting a kill when you bring the most random shit, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. And just makes things harder, because people, for some reason, still can't understand that people don't want it's actually makes my mind be like, it's bumbles me that people can't understand that benchmarks are not like the things that you are expected to do. Benchmark is like literally the perfect like the
Perfect rotation with the
yeah,
most optimal build. Yeah.
without doing any mechanic. Like it's just the maximum you could do
Yeah.
without doing anything else. Like no dodge, maybe if it involves the rotation, but there is no dodge. You don't have to revive, you don't go away, you don't walk away, you don't. It's just you just do the biggest damage. That's the benchmark. Like it's just like for your PC, what can it do at its maximum, but it won't happen in most things, like it's just really not really a thing that happens in reality, or used, how what I mean. So like, people always just rage on this thing that, oh, I can't make like 50k DPS, but you don't need that. You just like bring in like 8 to 10 or like 20 20k DPS. Like I mean, I think I can do 20k DPS or so, something with my necro on Scourge or something, or so.
But that's the thing. And it doesn't like the more you practice a fight, the more you'll be able to perfect that rotation so that it gets closer to that benchmark.
Yeah.
But like the thing is all about practice makes it perfect and understanding the fight. It's never and but also like don't be a dick about it. Like don't
Yeah,
press your
of
buttons while
course.
someone is down. Like don't press like the thing is don't press your button if like you see in the corner of your eye someone like for example uh sometimes on Doom I get carried away, and if people when I'm the healer, if people are down, I will res those people like or I'll try to get them up or
Yeah.
heal people, and then I forget that I have my green. If I don't take my green, we wipe.
Yeah.
And like a
Yeah.
lot of players see me not take the green and they'll continue their DPS, and it's like we
Yeah,
just
like,
wiped.
just
Wow. Things. Yeah.
Like what did are you happy about your DPS now that we're dead? Because you won't have a log. Like that log doesn't exist. It doesn't show a kill. So there's like it's just ridiculous sometimes, and that's how I select my raiders. Like I think the way I knew Skay was a good raider is I forgot my green and he stuffed through into that green for me, and it prevented the wipe. And it's just like that had nothing to do with DPS. It's just people who are aware and who don't over focus on one freaking metric, which is a number that won't matter anyways if we wipe.
And honestly, that's the kind of thing that I also enjoy doing here. It's like I rather sacrifice my DPS because I just don't care. Like we will get it down, but if I my mind is always there that if I don't help my teammates, whoever they are, the tank, the healer, or like the hand kiter on a what is the name? I forgot suddenly. Where do you hand kite? Which one's
Deimos.
Deimos? Oh yeah, yeah. So like there, when we were doing raids with friends like Pingu and the others, like Pingu was hand kiting, and I rather just kept using my trace to be able to give barrier on my shades, you know, and I just kept putting a shade on Pingu while hand kiting because he wasn't really too experienced at the start to survive that. So sometimes we vibe because he just died there. It's, you know, just he was practicing
Noxxi,
it.
your DPS.
Yeah, so I
By
was
one
just
shade.
so I just picked the other trade that gave more barrier on like even shade summoning as well, and
Yeah.
the big one, you know, which just explodes and then gives barrier. And I just kept using that on Pingus to at least help out a little bit, because if the hand character dies, we wipe anyway. Like you can't do anything. If the tank dies, we probably die. Especially if you aren't like fucking raid gods that can carry anyway, you know, like Teapot and the others, you know, maybe then it works out if they die, but I don't know. But yeah, so I always try to help, and sometimes that's literally my death, because I see someone get down and I just like, oh fuck, I have to actually revive them, and I just run in and I just die to a fucking manic.
Yeah,
But
that's sort of
that
why
helps.
I prefer playing support, because if I play DPS, I often get lost in my rotation
Yeah.
because I just
Yeah.
hyper focus on it, and then that's all that exists, the rotation. But if I don't have to care about my DPS or anything like that, it's a lot easier for me to focus on everything else in the fight.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
Well, okay. I actually kind of delayed it a bit because I'm too much a talker. But yeah, we should probably end it now because I know it's really late for it's past midnight now. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah,
Raava, what the fuck? Why are you not in bed just yet?
yeah.
Come on.
Oh,
Like,
because I want you in my bed, you two.
Oh.
Let's have a little.
Well,
I'm
I
just
mean, we can arrange that.
Okay, cool.
I'm just kind of glad
mean-
that Rava kept the stream PG enough so I can actually upload it on YouTube. You know.
Wait, it's not over. Two Hungary chicks in my bed. Let's go. Sorry, I had to.
Like, Rava, we will arrange it next year when I go to Hungary. I will tell you when, and you come as well, okay?
Oh, I'm
Deal.
sure she will
Let's
come as
do
well.
I
Okay,
mean, it's
I
a
stopped,
well-known
sorry.
fact. I am Noxxi sexual.
No. Stop. Stop
That
it,
was
get
really
some-
fun, Noxxi. Thanks for organizing this.
But yeah,
Thank you for inviting me.
yeah, I mean gladly. And Rava, I think for the 2 weeks later, if you are still up for it, of course, if it stands for Lara as well, I hope you will be ready for some probably some lore nerding around with Lara, because I will probably bring her into that as well, and I will bring you down with us.
I'm so ready. Just be ready that I will probably be fangirling because Lara is like I love her.
I'm actually surprised that I actually managed to get Lara, because I know that she doesn't stream on the weekends, you know, and she's usually busy. So I was like, yeah, this probably won't really happen. But then she was like, yeah, it will be cool. And I was like, oh, wait, really? People don't understand that I look up to so many people. Like, no matter who you are on streaming, but if I know you from a while ago, and from the older times, like, you know, like Teapot and the others and everyone, and like friends or other, I look up to everyone so much. Like, I literally admire like everyone. And I'm like so happy when someone says, yeah, when like Lara said that, yeah, sure, I could do that. And I was like,
I understand. Holy shit.
Yeah, like, holy crap, oh my god, I'm going to have Lara on my stream. Like, oh shit. And like, oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, when we first started talking, I was like, "Oh my god, Noxxi is my friend."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
that's okay. I don't want to delay it more, of course, but it's actually kind of like strange feel that some people feel that kind of thing toward me, which is a really strange feel for me because I'm like, why? Like I'm just a person. Like, why do you like? I don't know.
I
Like
mean,
what?
I fangirled the day you followed me on Twitter.
Oh my
Because
god.
I had watched your YouTube videos, and I as you know, I love Roca, and Roca told me so much about you, and then you
Ah,
showed up
yeah.
on my stream, and I was like, it's Noxxi!
I actually did see that Guild Wars 2 was on your stream recently, by the way. So congrats
Yeah.
on that.
Oh my
That's
god,
so
I
cool.
got shy. I got shy.
Yeah, I noticed.
Holy shit! Also, every time someone follows me back from Iridescent, I'm just like,
Aw.
fangirling.
Yeah. No, it's fun. It's fun.
But
But
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. It's
Okay,
been
I'm gonna go sleepy
yeah.
deepies because
Hell yeah!
I
I
love
I
you.
almost said same, but it's like it's like almost
Yeah.
5 p.m. only. So yeah.
Noxxi,
So
it's nap time. Let's go.
again, thank you both for being on the stream. Thank you, Rava. You can see everyone's links in on the stream. By the way, I have Twitter and their Twitches on. Thank you, Chera, for coming. It was actually
Thank you for inviting me.
it was actually really great. I'm actually very happy about this. So yeah, you get it. So yeah, if you guys don't mind, I'm hold on. I actually plan to raid. Yeah, because I never had the chance to meaningfully raid that much. I actually gonna raid Shay for first time.
Hell yeah!
So
yeah.
I'm gonna do that. So again, thank you all for coming. I have no clue how to place a stream and how to end it properly. So I'm gonna just click raid channel. I'm gonna type in Shay, and it finds Shay, and I'm gonna click on the start raid, and it's gonna count back, and I'm gonna just do that. Yeah. So by the way, thank you for the sub, Rob. And thank you
You're
all,
welcome.
and thank you all for the follows. I really appreciate it, and
Yeah. Guys, throw some money at Noxxi. Let's go.
oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you all
And go
for
check out her website and follow her on Twitter, and she has an awesome YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Go check her out.
yeah.
And join the Discord
Thank
as
you all
well.
for following and watching and being here today. See you. See everyone. Hopefully 2 weeks later. And thank you again. See you guys. I'm gonna rage hey now.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Nice.